Hello, everybody. It's Mike here with Sell for 1% again.
Hello,
and as
Mike.
we run along our normal videos of the week, I got Dave Barlow and Jamie Barlow here. We're missing the other forgotten son today, but we should have him on in another one. Jamie, we are doing the house of the week. Week. What do you got for me?
Oh man, everybody's getting into it.
Yes, this week's house of the week may be one that is somewhat predicting the future of Columbus and kind of where the city is heading as prices start to increase a little bit here. We are reviewing the home of Josh Dunn, drummer for 21 Pilots, and his wife, Debby Ryan, who was a Disney star and now Netflix actress in a series called Insatiable, which I haven't seen.
That's pretty cool.
Doing big things, yeah. Couple bought a house in Powell, Ohio off Lake Lamont Place, and it is a 9,683 square foot home boasting 6 beds and 8 bathrooms. So as Mike said earlier, you kind of know you've made it when you have more bathrooms than you have bedrooms.
It's the truth, man.
That or you're just getting really old and need to be close to a bathroom.
It could be too.
And for the future.
Mm-hmm.
The home was built in 2017 by R&H.
Romanelli and Hughes.
Oh,
Romanelli and Hughes. And as you can imagine, it has every single upgrade on the spectrum with custom details and quality craftsmanship throughout. The great room is enhanced with a 2-sided fireplace, which I always love when houses have the 2-sided fireplace.
Thank you.
Built-ins and an adjacent sunroom with a large gathering pub. The kitchen includes everyone's dream, really, massive quartz countertop with space galore, high-end appliances, and an island that is perfect for entertaining and upgraded cabinetry into custom pantries.
And that gold trim is making a comeback with that white on white with the gold handles. It looks actually really good. I'm not a huge fan of the color scheme, but that actually looks really good in this one.
Yeah, as you can imagine, they had interior designers hired and did the entire inside kind of from there what they wanted. And so the lower level holds a boxing ring for training sessions. And of course, there's a man cave in the home with a home cinema, stadium seating, an open kitchen downstairs, playroom, and a soundproof music room for the drummer.
Yes. Honey, I love you, but...
Well, they soundproofed it pretty well, I'm sure. There's a full house generator, motorized blinds, and epoxy garage floor. And the home also includes state-of-the-art technology, including security cameras inside and out, enhanced security system, and smart home features. So, Columbus, Columbus, Ohio is perhaps not where you might expect to find a popular young actress, and a rock star husband setting up their first house, but Debby and Josh took a chance to implement their personalities and fully customize this home that is a little closer to the family, with a departure from the script of an LA house or New York, Chicago.
Well, the problem is in LA, a $2 million house is a bungalow.
It's the truth.
Correct.
Here you get 10,000 square feet and more bathrooms than you have bedrooms. So
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, the area that they're in too is nothing short but gorgeous. I mean, the Powell area up there is really pretty. It's not overbuilt or anything like that. There's plenty of parks. And I do have to say, this is one of the nicer looking houses, newer builds that I've seen in a long time. The color scheme, the exterior brick, the back of that house looks fantastic with the walkout. It's really sharp looking.
yeah, it's more of a classical looking 2-story home. A lot of times these guys, they'll build a $2 million house and they let the architect go crazy. And, you have some ultra modern thing that in, 6 months is out of date. And so, this house will have the same feel 25, 30 years from now. And the Lac Le Monde area, for those who don't know, is just a mile or so north of 270 off of 315, Worthington Hills area. Just keep going further north. And as you go north on your left-hand side is where Lac Le Monde is. And it's actually a fun neighborhood to kind of drive through because you have big house after big house after big house. And some of them are like this one, enormous.
And that the drummer for 21 Pilots, Josh Dunn, grew up in Arch City. When the couple were in town celebrating the holidays with Dunn's family a couple years ago, it was Ryan who floated the idea, let's move to Columbus. They had been looking for a house for a while where they could set down some roots, and nothing they had seen fit with their wants and needs. And the listing had just popped up on Dunn's real estate notification, and the rest is history. Checked all their boxes, close to family and old friends, spacious enough to host guests, as well as their many recreational pursuits, and had a squirrel stalk backyard for their golden retriever, Jim. And it's perched kind of, and you can see in the pictures and in the back, perched in a forested area, and it called to mind one of their shared obsessions, which is tree houses. Dunn actually proposed to his wife in a treehouse in New Zealand.
Oh, no kidding.
So the woodland setting showed potential for their whimsical and fantastical perfect home for these two dreamers, and fit the vibe they were after, a fantasy treehouse. And cool. So, yeah, they said that the trees were really inspiring for their new home, and the treehouse theme throughout the home formed a lot of their design sensibilities, and wanted to soften the lines of the house with organic shapes, textures, and materials, and gravitated towards a lot of green. And that's kind of how the tree house became a tree home.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts about the architecture of this one is it's got very sharp, clean lines on it. It looks really good.
Yeah. It has a flexible layout, as you can see through the pictures, and Ryan and Dunn couldn't create the sort of home they wanted to create, the sort of home they didn't have to leave in a home to implement their many ideas, including the boxing ring. They have a cold plunge pool on the back porch, recording studio, and screening room, and have brought all that to fruition through this house. But the most impactful element was one of the first things they decided on, a mural by the Australian artist duo, I'm going to butcher this, Dabsmila. They said as soon as they saw
know him well.
As soon as they saw the atrium, they knew that the mural they got from him would be the crown jewel of the house.
That's cool.
And it was inspired by the flora at Franklin Park Conservatory in Columbus. Packs a serious visual punch and resembling a surrealist twist on Super Mario. So, and
that
then
would
they
make
also
your nephew Jack very happy.
Yeah. And so they also have a giant white couch in the house, and it's symbolic of being an adult and knowing and accepting the responsibility of cleaning the white couch. Because
so no one's allowed to sit on it.
Right. A lot of the house is very playful and kind of to their sensibilities, but then the white couch is kind of the counter of, okay, we are adults, are responsible, and we're going to keep the couch clean. And then they also had a bust of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson done. And so where you kind of see
That's kind
the
of weird.
Roman emperor busts, well, again, it's kind of the whimsical, fun side of them. They have a bust of The Rock. So they have there's a lot of things that kind of have a story in this house. They have an old school Blockbuster card framed in acrylic. Dunn's Game Boy, relic of the 1990s, and a neon sign from their wedding, which was more of I don't want to say rushed, but it was a quick wedding. And it says done and done.
Nice.
The house as well. So since moving to Columbus, Ryan and Dunn have fallen in love with the city's thriving local creative community and have engaged many of their friends in this new creation of their home. And they're showing other friends a side of Ohio they didn't know existed. They're quoted as saying, "People often say, 'What's in Ohio?' But we're so inspired by this place, building this home, inviting people into it. The whole process has created a new sense of us." As this week's House of the Week.
Very cool.
Love it. Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it, man.
My pleasure, guys.